Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Entertainment Podcast, your source for all things entertainment. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres to keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have Eric Spivak on the line, and he's CEO over at Your Conduit. Eric, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Adam. How's it going?
Oh, man, everything is well and excited to get into this with you. So a lot of business owners, entrepreneurs, executives listening, and creative agencies, marketing. I mean, it's all highly relevant to growing businesses. So let's just start off with you giving us a background of what you're doing over at Your Conduit.
Yeah, so Your Conduit is essentially a opportunity for people to have accessibility and availability to obtain anything, anywhere, at any time. So that sounds like a big task to say being able to provide the opportunity of anything, anywhere, at any time, but we are essentially an easy button. So, Uber Eats has kind of fulfilled that for food, as well as DoorDash and Postmates and similar things in that category. And then you have TaskRabbit that is also kind of like the startup magic that was around for a while that essentially is a one-stop shop. But in the creative world and event space and marketing space and PR, there's just so many different missing puzzle pieces, and you have to go to 10 places for one thing. So I decided to make one place for everything, like Amazon.
Man, I love it. You're making things easy for people that are out there that want marketing and that or experiential marketing or all of the above. So I love that. So what kind of what are there, if any, are there any specific niches that you like focusing on versus others, or anything else, just to kind of get a flavor for the business and what you're targeting?
Yeah, I'd say that we specialize more in entertainment, nightlife, creative arts, and the bulk of our clients have been record labels, music artists, independent artists, managers, agents, and those requests are ranging from wrangling luxury vehicles that are one of one or one of 10 to procuring full-blown event production on short lead times and essentially having someone like a James Blake or Cardi B or Skrillex having a party going on until 6 a.m. at an undisclosed location. So, I'd say mostly we've had a big bulk of our revenue and clients being entertainment, but we do business development of all sorts. So it doesn't matter if you're developing a cancer treatment or you are working for drug and alcohol rehabilitation centers, and you have a startup that makes sense to pair with those businesses. We just pretty much add the secret sauce to any project that's pre-existing and just needs help getting moving faster,
I love it. It's like you guys are you're really, like you said, you're the easy button of the marketing side of things. I love it. If you could just hit the button and do it, that's calling Your Conduit, and they get it done. So what have been some of the more interesting kind of things that you've gotten fulfilled and done? Because I'm just interested in to kind of hear some of the requests. Because when you say we get anything done, I know you have some stories.
Yeah, no, it's pretty broad. I came from a background of creative strategy and data analytics and market research and quality assurance, product testing. I used to do a lot of game testing with Sony, Activision, Blizzard, and so I understand the process of debugging things and breaking them down and building them back up and then looking at where your weak points are. So this business really came about from finding out that everybody's got problems, and so by asking business owners and even non-business owners kind of what their Achilles heel is and what they're dealing with and what their issues are, and really listening and taking time to digest and comprehend. It didn't matter if it was a Gary Vaynerchuk struggling with things within Empathy Wines or VaynerMedia, or it's somebody as small as Joe Schmo on the corner who has an ice cream stand and is trying to push a non-dairy ice cream because he is suggesting that it's eco-conscious, sustainable, and just healthier all around. So, I mean, just by listening, it painted me into a wall of offerings, you know. Once you do things a few different times, you create a template on how to do it effectively, ideally, if you're successful. And so when producing events and working with DJs and producers and rappers and singer-songwriters and sound guys and visual people and bar staff and door staff and security, I slowly but surely realized that there's cracks everywhere. And so, yeah, I've kind of shown and proved that we're able to fix just about anything. I'd say one recent request that was really cool was Cardi B needed a black-on-black 64 Impala with hydraulics brought to Watts on 2 hours notice. And it was only 3 hours.
That's a great story. I knew you had one. 2 hours notice. Go ahead, finish.
Yeah, very, very specific. And a black-on-black 64 Impala with hydraulics is like not necessarily the easiest thing to find unless you have a database of vehicles. But then there was also a moment where I got asked for a pink stretch limo that was an 80s style, and, you know, apparently in California, or SoCal specifically, there's only like 4 or something of that nature. Between Vegas and California, there's only like 4 that fit this make and model. So, you know, it is really just a lot of wrangling and making sure that you have a strong database of being able to answer anything at any time. And, you know, I leave myself open to people all over the world to be able to call up, because there really isn't a place you can do that. I mean, even if you call 911, I'm pretty sure that I can get a vehicle over to help you out in distress faster than any form of law enforcement. So, yeah, I mean, I've fixed a lot of problems at this point. I can do everything from T-shirt printing to 50,000 units to creating your own water brand or beer brand with white label branding, and branding that essentially is able to morph into an event series or a music or art festival. You know, it really, the sky's the limit. You need sponsors for something, I'm doing sponsor acquisition. You need a full product launch and release, for doing that. You want to run your own trade show and you have the money and the idea, but you don't know how to get it past the finish line. That's kind of where we come in. So, yes.
Man, that's awesome. I love this story. I love this story, Eric, and I love what you're doing, man. So that being said, if somebody's listening to this and they want more information on your conduit, what's the best way for them to reach out and to follow up?
Yeah, they can go to yourconduit.com, URCONDUIT.com, and find most of the information there and ways to contact me. But you can also reach out through our Instagram, which if you typed in Your Conduit, we would pop up. Or you can look me up, which is Eric Spivak, ERIC SPIVAK. You know, I'm very easy to find, and like I said, I'm in the business of creating accessibility. So, you know, I want to be available for anybody that needs something.
That's awesome. Well, hey, Eric, really appreciate you coming on the show today and sharing more about all the great work you're doing over at Your Conduit, and sharing some of those classic stories. I'm like, I wasn't expecting the black on black 6'4" Impala. That's awesome. That's a highlight. That's a highlight of the day. So that's all good. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. Hope you had some fun listening, because we had fun making this for you. If you did, don't forget, subscribe to the podcast. Leave me a review on the Apple iTunes store. And if you're watching this on the YouTube channel, Mission Matters Marketing, be sure to give us a subscribe there and keep the conversation going. Love to connect with you there. And Eric, thanks again for coming on the show.